Appreciate you, Coach. Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the New Orleans Saints and the Minnesota Vikings. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Here we go. Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. I got it.
On first down, Garoppolo. And this one complete to Smith. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 14 yards there on the first play from scrimmage.
First down, Saints.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down, executed it to perfection. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, his fourth touchdown on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Saints 7, Vikings 0.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line.
Set. We're okay. We're okay. Like 90.
On first and 10, Rivers. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
The first carry now for Dalvin Cook. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 10 yards, and it's good for a Viking first down. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
Now Rivers, and they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. Dalvin Cook is running back, the intended target, and it's second down. Not sure what happened out there, but it looked like the timing was a little off on that throw.
Well, you know I'm a defender, so what am I going to say?
Great defense.
Darn right. They did something to disrupt that timing.
Rivers incomplete on first down. Here's second and 10.
You don't know no better.
To throw again. Rivers. That's caught by the tight end, Irv Smith Jr. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 13 yards as the Vikings pick up the first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Cook with a first down and much more. Touchdown, Vikings! Dalvin Cook with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And it's only November, but the playoffs, we know how it works. They'll be here before you know it. If it ended today, they would be the number 1 seed.
And that's a great spot to be in, but I love the phrase, if it ended today. And I'll guarantee you, that's what they've discussed in their locker room, in their meeting rooms. Yeah, we know where we'd be if it ended today, but we also know it's not ending today.
Right.
So they've got to continue to play the type of ball that put them in the spot where they're number 1 in their conference.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Murray. And he'll scratch out only about a yard up to the 32.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A shotgun snap for Garoppolo. That's complete. Terry McLaurin with it. 10 yards, good for his Saints. First down.
It's a gain of 10. And the Saints first down.
Here we go. 120. Good track.
On first down, Murray. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man.
11.
Throwing on 2nd down. Garoppolo. And Josh Hill has it. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 31-yard line.
I know I spent a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
Garoppolo now already over 100 yards passing in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. A shotgun handoff. This is Murray now. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
That was 2nd down run for Murray. And he's able to get it to the edge of the red zone at the 20-yard line. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
Here we go. 180. 54. Tighten up. Pull together.
Now a fake on the give here as they try the run-pass option. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it's a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Just like that.
A first carry for Amir Abdullah. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be third and about a foot or two.
Brings up third and inches.
Here we go. Wait, 80! I got one. Set hunt!
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he's got the first down as he gets it to the 8. They only got 2, but that was enough as they'll convert to make it first and goal.
At the 8-yard line.
Here we go. 180! Check right 50. Come on.
They'll try to run it in with Murray. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a yard that time, second and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on second and goal. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Josh Hill, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Saints have taken the lead.
Well, defense are going to have to start doing something different because this guy's absolutely carving them up, especially down here in the red zone. He's been one of the top receiving tight ends here in the first half of the season.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And a yard at the 33-yard line.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves them with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
White! Mike 5'9". Hey, exit.
To throw, Rivers. His throw incomplete. He was trying to find Chad Beebe that time, and it's 3rd and short.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll run it. Here's Cook. And Cook was fighting for it, but I don't think he got there. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st.
4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
Call it a 48-yard punt. Give them 9, though, on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Here we go. 180! Check. Walk 54. Coming this way. Here we go.
Give him 2 yards that time, and it's going to leave him with a 3rd and 11 situation.
Well, it certainly appears that in this game, someone has decided they're going to open up their playbook. First quarter, and we see that play. I like their style.
Here we go. Like 80! 11. 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down. Check 50. Hey, let's go. Check 55. Come on. Base. Hey, alert 3. Check 9.
Throwing is Garoppolo on third down. And it falls incomplete after almost being intercepted. A pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's fourth down. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on fourth down.
Let's go. At their own 27-yard line.
And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. They start the drive with Cook. And it'll be a minimum pickup here as it will take us to the end of the first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7 our score. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Working out of the gun, Rivers. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. It's a gain of 11 as the Vikings pick up the first.
First down. 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Play action now. Rivers. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Give the sack there to Jake Ryan. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. Rivers to throw it. And the pressure gets to him again. Jake Ryan able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
Throwing, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dime look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And now that'll kick out of bounds, and this is going to be spotted back at their own 30. Oh, man.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
Got to do better. Come on, QB.
They'll run on first down. Murray. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They're not ready for this. They still playing soft.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Garoppolo. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a third down. Just his second incompletion so far. He's 8 for 10. I think he'll take 80%.
There's no doubt that he will, but if you're the defensive play caller, you better circle what you just dialed up on your play sheet and come back to it because you just caused an incompletion. You need a few more of those.
From the gun on third, Garoppolo. Open man is Michael Thomas. And this is going to turn into another first down as the tackle is made at the Vikings 39. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
10th carry of the game now, Murray. And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Latavius Murray with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Lutz to try to add the PAT. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Next to score, Saints 21, Vikings 7.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
First down and 10 at their own 29-yard line.
The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a first and 10 all the way down at the 35.
You got nothing.
Now a run with Cook. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Tackle is made by Cameron Jordan. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and knock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
Watch the run. Watch the run.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. So now third and 10, a big play to start the drive, but nothing since. From the shotgun, it's Rivers. Well, the two men come together, and it's incomplete. Excellent work defensively, brings up fourth down. Problems on third down so far in this first half. Relatively small sample size, but they're now 0 for 3.
The average in the league, somewhere around 40% on third down for offenses. So what's the answer to this? Either convert them or don't get to third down in the first place. Get your big chunks of yards on first and second down.
These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see.
He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. Touchdown, New Orleans. 3 touchdown passes now for Jimmy Garoppolo. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down. From the gun, Rivers. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That sack came from the corner. On the corner blitz, it was Josh Jackson.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. Rivers on the money, complete. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. It'll be a gain of 6, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
Ready! 180!
Get that ball, D. Let's get that ball.
Left! Put!
From the gun, Rivers. Looking for Thielen, but it's intercepted. It's the linebacker, Alex Anzalone. And a super return as he gets us all the way down inside the 25-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Here we go. 180!
Watch the curl. Watch the curl.
On 2nd down, it's Murray. And not much to speak of there. Maybe a yard down to the 20.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL.
11.
Check. Lucky. 6-6.
Pull it high.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Daniil Hunter racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. And Lutz puts this one through. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. They got the interception, but very little movement after, and that forces him to settle for 3. And it does feel like settling when that happens, doesn't it?
It certainly does, but we got to give a lot of credit where it's due, and that's to the defense because they ran onto the field. This is what we call sudden change, right? Interception, you got to go put out the fire, and they did, holding them to a field goal.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They're down 3 touchdowns to this point, needing to put something together as they have it 1st and 10. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10.
Don't get nervous. Out.
Going to get it to BB here. It's a jet sweep. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
No gain on the play. It's 3rd and
10. And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Operating from the gun, Rivers. And he's able to find Diggs. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. It's a gain of 16, and the Vikings have the 1st down as well.
First and 10.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. From the gun, Rivers. And the Saints pressure gets him. Brought down for a sack. Now the Vikings will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. From the pistol, they run it with Cook. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. Now pickup of 7 there, but they'll still have 12 yards to go on 3rd down.
Okay, he didn't break that one all the way, but you got to know that he feels like he's right on the verge, and that's probably exactly what he's telling them in the huddle right now.
Here we go, D. Hey, it's just me and you. Left to right. Just me and you.
On 3rd down, Rivers. He's going to look deep down the field into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Xavier Howard. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
Here we go. 180!
54 Mike. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
On 1st down, Murray. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter.
Don't be mad. Don't be mad. There's more coming. There's more where it came from.
So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. Made his first. This now from 46 yards away. And this one is right down the middle. And that will do it for this first half. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, set now to go for the 3rd quarter. The Saints have the lead and set to receive the kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line.
Let's go. Let's go.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the 2nd half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is a real, I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. To throw is Rivers. That's complete to the receiver, Thielen. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
On the ground, it's Cook. And forget that 100-yard rushing game, at least for the moment, as he'll lose yardage here and fall back under the century mark for the game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Red Delta!
Operating from the gun, Rivers. And that is incomplete.
Well, touch and time are critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
Here's Matt Bosher now as he's on to punt for Minnesota. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds.
First and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Here we go.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen,
Here we go.
let's take control right away.
Yeah,
Defense,
we
got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or two short here with 3rd down coming up.
And it's 3rd down.
Here we go. 180!
Watch a slant, watch a slant, watch a slant.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line.
Let's go.
Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Well, someone's been having a good game so far, and you know something? A lot of it's been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Carries piling up. It's Murray again. And able to get this one all the way up to about the 46-yard line. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A 7-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 3 at the 46-yard line.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Abdullah. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. 7 yards there and a 1st down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point. Going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. On the run, Abdullah. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 10.
So after the run for no gain, here's 2nd and 10.
54. He can't hang.
Now they'll throw with Garoppolo. That's complete to his receiver, McLaurin. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open. That makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first. They're able to convert with a gain of 4.
But we tend to give those running backs that are slashers a lot of credit. But how about guys who are maulers? Because that's what you want in short yardage situations. And we just saw that occur right there, didn't we?
Vertical downhill running. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Here we go. 180.
Check, check. Walk 54. Walk 54. Cross the screen.
They'll run on first down. It's Murray, and he's going to get this one down inside the 15. A good run there on first down, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 2. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Got a man open. It's Thomas. It's a touchdown for New Orleans. Touchdown pass number 4 the afternoon for Jimmy Garoppolo as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. Lutz good on the extra point, and the lead will swell by 1 more.
Saints 41, Vikings 10.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. He's able to rattle off 6 on the carry, and that'll get him to 3rd and 4.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Now we've got movement up front, and I think this is going to be on Minnesota. After the false start, sets up a 3rd and 9.
59. Hey, let's get that ball here. Let's get that ball right here.
Cluster.
From the gun, Rivers. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Vikings first down.
Vikings first down. 1st and 10 at the 34-yard line.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Hey, defense, let's go. Pick it up, D.
Play fake, Rivers. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he will be out of bounds as the 3rd quarter comes to an end with an INT. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. And this is a blowout so far as we get set for the fourth quarter. A very one-sided affair.
Here we go.
So the special teams penalty cost some yardage there as they come out on 1st and 10. They run with Abdullah. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. A run. It's Murray. It'll be a Saints first down on a pickup of 13. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, pick it up, defense. Let's go.
This is Abdullah. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Silver.
On 3rd down, Murray. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. A pickup of 11, and it moves the chains.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Bring it.
On 1st down, Abdullah. And running room hard to come by here. He gets it down to the 8. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Double dog. That's the way.
They go with Abdullah again. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of 6, moves him to a manageable 3rd and 2 situation. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been very good, 5 for 7 thus far. This time they face a 3rd and 2. Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he is in for the score. Touchdown, New Orleans. Chase Edmonds, his first touchdown on the year as his guys continue to pour it on. Lutz with the extra point, and that will extend this big lead.
Vikings 10.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. That's fielded in the end zone. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. Again, it's Cook. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Early down stuff to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority 1.
The Vikings on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 9. That one into the hands of Thielen, complete. And he stopped up short of the first as they tackle him down at about the 36. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. We've got a lopsided game here. I don't know, Charles, what does the handbook say that we discuss when we've got a game like this in the 4th quarter?
Hold on a second. Let me thumb to the proper page on that. Know what it says?
What?
Let's discuss how we got here. This is a dominant performance, where they took control of this game, how they've managed to keep control of this game, and then we go ahead and think about how we're going to leave here and get to the airport. In a lopsided blowout, the roads are usually open.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
Shoot!
And they take a knee.
3 and out. 4th down.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing just outside his own goal line. And it's fielded at the 34. It's a 47-yard punt, return of 6. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Rivers incomplete on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Rivers incomplete. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
And he's got his tight end, that's Smith. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40.
That's good.
A gain of 22. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. And an alley to run. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. Last play they went over 20 yards. This time they topped 30. That was excellent from start to finish, from the blocking to the running, just well executed.
And now let's look ahead, because after that, how about a little play action, maybe a little bootleg, and get the quarterback out on the corner and give him a little run-pass option.
And they're right down here looking for 6. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Now Rivers toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Tight end Irv Smith, the intended receiver, but it'll be 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal from the 7-yard line.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal.
We got to get the ball.
Load it. Load it.
Now Cook, he's got it off the draw. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game.
Ready.
They'll come out in the pistol.
Like the 59. Ready?
Alpha.
Like 59.
3rd and goal for Rivers. Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Boom. All day.
Step 180. 390.
Check. 59. 59.
A big offensive explosion helped leading them to victory. And the defensive guys, they're just saying, hey, put those points up every week. We'll just keep winning.
They will gratefully accept them, won't they? It makes their job that much easier when they're scoring that many points. Allows them to play with a totally different style and a different flow.
So for the Saints, the win here means it'll be a 7-1 first half of the season. And they'll have another road date next week with the Kansas City Chiefs. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they drop back to 500 now at 4 up and 4 down. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel up to Detroit to take on the Lions. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.